Well, g'day guys, this is Pete Montgomery from the petermontgomeryshow.com. I interview influential speakers and they teach me really cool things about business and marketing. Now today I've got Zaki Ameer on the call, and Zaki did the phenomenal thing of building an investment property portfolio. He bought 15 properties over a period of 2 years, now has, it's amounted to a $3 million property portfolio. And the amazing thing is he did this with very little savings when he first started out. And he's going to talk a little bit about that today. So Zaki, you invested in 15 properties in 2 years. Why did you feel property was your ticket to wealth?
Thank you, Peter. The main two fundamental reasons for real estate or property over other types of investing, say, for example, the share market, is because I had very little savings. The banks these days in Australia are willing to lend up to 97%. That means you can start with just a 3% deposit to get into the real estate market. And part of the consulting company I run, Dream Design Do, is we focus on properties that are in a lower price range, which means you can get in with very little minimal savings, and also the risk of fluctuations for those properties will also be very less. And the other reason is that the real estate market is not as volatile, for example, as the share market, where that can change by the second. In fact, with property, the property market, it takes at least 3 months for a property to settle. So those are my two reasons I invested in real estate over other forms of investing.
Okay. So, and what do you think the keys are to making money through property? Like, because I know you can do it, and you've got a system that works no matter what the conditions of the market. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, but I guess the majority of people who invest in real estate rely on capital growth, which is dependent on external factors, being the conditions of the economy, like the interest rates, the conditions of the global economy, and retail spending. Whereas I follow a strategy which is a create value strategy, which is I look for investment properties that have growth in it, that are independent of market conditions. So I'm looking at making instant growth in real estate, as opposed to properties that rely on capital growth, which are dependent on market conditions.
And how does that work? Like, because what sort of houses are you buying, and how do you add value to those?
Well, part of my consulting service with Dream Design Do is to identify properties in the market where I can source for below market value. That is, for example, they might be repossession properties. They could be properties where the banks have told developers to sell down their portfolio, which means I can negotiate a better market price or a purchase price. And some of the properties that I also look at is properties that require some sort of renovation. I focus on cosmetic renovations as opposed to rebuilding a fire-damaged house for my clients. So anything where I can get a good price in comparison to what others would normally pay. And that's one of the ways I create instant value, as opposed to waiting on market conditions for the value to grow.
Excellent, man. Well, thanks for your time, Zaki. So guys, so Zaki, where can people find you?
They can contact me by going to my website, which is www.dreamdesign.do.
Okay. All right, man. So you make it a great day, Zaki, and thanks for your time.
Thank you, Pete.